We're just trying to get everybody set up here with all these different gadgets and gizmos aplenty. Who's it and what's it? How are you this week? How are you? I'm so happy to see you. So happy to see you all. Welcome, welcome. Ah, what an amazing time that we are living in. What an amazing time that we are living in. Hi, Lake. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, Doris. Hi. Okay, so for Lake and Doris and a couple others, I want to say this so I don't forget. It's Priscilla's birthday today, so let's make sure we wish her for happy birthday. Um, what an amazing time that we are living in right now. Because on the one hand, especially to be here in thank you, sweetie. In this country, there's a lot of anxiety, but again, it's so much of how we choose to look at it. Um, and when we choose to see the negatives, we're going to find plenty. We're always going to have plenty. And if we choose to see the blessings, even in the hard stuff, um, we will find them. It is such a conscious choice of how we perceive what is going on around us and how we choose to perceive what is going on around us. And the silver linings and the blessings, they may not show up today and they may not show up tomorrow. And, for those of us living in this country, depending on your personal political affiliations, they may not show up for 4 years or they may show up in 2 weeks. So there is the time to allow ourselves to feel and to sit. And sometimes we have to sit in the muck and allow ourselves to just be and to feel and to sit, to allow the universe to do its work. So I finally remembered that if you're looking that carefully in the reflection, you get a little picture of my Mary Kay office. But I finally remembered because it's very better on this side. But I finally remembered to get the gears in here. So these are the gears, and this was a toy that my children had when they were little. Okay, and it came with its own non-reflective placard. It was like a board, and you could carry it. It had a handle, and so I want you to watch this, and it's a children's toy. It's magnetic. You can put them on the refrigerator, which is why it's on this big metal platter. But I just want you to watch. And oh, look what happened. Okay, so here we are in alignment. And see what happens? That one gear turns to the next gear, turns to the next gear, turns to the next gear. And in the set that we had originally, it had a bell at the end. And so you would ring a bell. Ding, ding. Okay, but so look what happens when now they're not connected. And so nothing can work. Nothing can go forward because we're not connected. And so it might not be the one I would take out really is the one that makes the cookie. This one. So this one might not be the most pleasant because it's annoying in its sound. However, I need it for all the other ones to work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's not functioning now. See, this is what happens when your gears get out of alignment. So this is the perfect analogy. This is what happens when your gears get out of alignment. There we go. All right. No. There we go. So now our gears are back in alignment. And so even though this is the one that is making this is the one that's causing the trouble because sliding down the magnet. This is the one that's causing the trouble, but they all work together. It all works together. So and so I went to I went on, the Amazon, which is where everything comes from these days. And so I said, show me this toy because the kids had it. It was always so much fun. And it was, hey, Robin, and uh, it was so fun for them to play with because they had to really align it to make it work. And they would get frustrated. They would get frustrated because the thing wouldn't line up. And it was always there was always the littlest one that just wouldn't stay in alignment. And they would get so frustrated because the stuff just wouldn't work. And and they would get so mad because the one littlest gear, they learned to hate the littlest gear. And I thought, but look how cute it is. Don't hate the littlest gear. But this was the one that would always be out of alignment because it was so little they couldn't get it to like stay in its place to work with the other ones. But you have to allow for the stuff that's a pain in the butt and the pain in the, you know, the thing that is annoying and the thing that just makes us want to just rip our hair out because that's the missing piece. And so we can't have light without dark, and we can't have good without bad, and we can't have, all of the blessings and the abundance. How would you ever appreciate abundance if you didn't have lack or you didn't know lack? We didn't have, if every day was sunny and every day was perfect and everyone lived in health and harmony, we would not appreciate how marvelous it is. And that is so important because the power of the universe is not in getting all the gears to line up. The power of the universe is in gratitude. Love and gratitude is the most powerful energy of the universe. We can create anything with love and gratitude. And staying in that place just makes a tremendous difference. But if there was never anything negative or dark or challenging or difficult or frustrating or aggravating, absolutely contrast, how would we ever appreciate the amazing things that come to us every single day? So it's raining here in Florida. I know that's a shocker that it's raining in Florida, but it's raining. And that's lovely because while it's not really a great day for me to open my doors and my windows and let in the air and the sun and all the stuff, my garden is growing. My garden is growing. And so crap is going to happen. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what your political or religious or any kind of views about whatever topic you want to bring, crap's going to happen. And nobody gets through life, with all sunshine and lollipops. No interesting life comes to the end and says, that was just the smoothest, sweetest ride ever. Everybody and excuse me, and anyone who's interesting has been through something. And if they haven't, they're gonna, because pretty much everybody in the world is either just going into something, just coming out of something, or in the middle of something. Okay. And so we allow for these things to happen because they shift us. They shift us. They help us to grow and to stretch. And so we are in Mercury retrograde. We've been talking about it, and blessedly, this is a short Mercury retrograde, but we're in Mercury retrograde until the 3rd or 4th of next month. And as we've talked about before, even though the Mercury retrograde, Mercury will go back direct next the first week of next month, we know that we're still going to feel the effects of that energy for a few more weeks after that, just as we felt it for a few weeks before coming into this. And so we know. And so this morning I was trying to do this online class that I'm taking, and the videos just wouldn't play. And I'm like, well, clearly I'm not supposed to do that right now because technology, Mercury loves to mess with technology. And so I said, well, clearly I'm not supposed to do that. So I went to do something else. And as it happened, my day just sort of smoothly went along because I didn't engage in the frustration of make this thing work, right? Because that's what we do. When the thing doesn't work, we're so ingrained to this instant gratification society, and I can have movies on demand and food delivered and oh, I'm so glad. I'm so happy to help. And we're so, like I said, movies on demand and Uber Eats, and we can just have everything in this instant gratification society. We have forgotten our ability to be grateful. We have forgotten our ability to pause for a breath, to take a breath and just be. And so this class that I'm taking is a different perspective in meditation. And I'm really enjoying it because one of the things that we're talking about is meditating without music. Now, if you participate in my Wednesday night meditation, you know I don't like to meditate without music. But it was so interesting because they were talking about really getting to connect with our truest essence and our truest self without the guidance or the influence of music that would make us feel a certain kind of way. And I just thought that is such a genius take on it that I never really thought about. And I just thought, because I mean, I'm a music person. I have played instruments. I sing, not so much publicly, but music is always playing in my home, at least in my ears. My kids are very into music. My husband and I both worked in the rock and roll music industry for a long time, so music is a very big part of who we are. And so it never would have even ever occurred to me to meditate in total silence, especially in my house with three dogs, two cats, I think they're dogs and two boys. It's not ever quiet here anyway. So it never would have occurred to me. I always put the music in to block out all the other stuff that's going on, which is actually ironic because it's very, very quiet here right now. Um, but to allow ourselves to really connect in with our truest selves. And that's that's the juice where we can really connect in with who we are, who we want to be, who we came here to be, and we allow ourselves to just be instead of engaging in the the rapid fire, because the minute something glitches, we come unglued, right? The minute the computer doesn't do the thing, the remote control doesn't work, the phone isn't working, the app doesn't work, the minute that video doesn't play on demand, we are like, oh my God, what is going on? And we forget the littlest gears can sometimes be the biggest pains in the ass, but they are still so essential. And so Mercury retrograde is so much about reminding us to slow down, to take a breath, and to allow. And so what I asked today was, okay, this isn't working. This video I was trying to play for this class, this isn't working. And when I said, what do I need to do? And what I heard was, you need to do this task right now. This thing you're trying to do is not important right now. And I didn't understand because, and I just accepted it. I said, okay, I'm moving on. Come to find out that this class has an online Monday meditation and live educational piece that I didn't realize that is literally right before this. And so I just thought, oh, that's why I didn't need to worry about that this morning because the universe had me covered because we were right here. And so it was beautiful to allow the universe. And so, like I said, wherever you are in on your path. And I like to use a lot of water imagery when I sit across from people and I dig into their psychic energy and I feel into their energy and to see what's going on. I really use a lot of water imagery to see what is going on around them. Is it calm? Is it ripply? Are they in waves? Is there an island? Is it a boat? What's going on with the water around them? Because that is so much like our energy that we send in waves. Energy moves in waves. Okay. And so when I was feeling into that, to be able to um, lost my train of thought, completely went away. And that happens. Darn, where was I going with that with the water? Oh, so wherever we are, thank you. So wherever we are in our water, okay, so wherever we are in our water, to have that, we may be in the waves, we may be trying to fight our way to the surface and stay above the water in the waves. We may be riding the waves, maybe we're surfing the waves. We may be washed up on the shore, just exhausted, or we may be laying out on the beach, enjoying the sound of the waves coming in and out. Wherever you are, understand that if you're not currently in a situation, you will be at some point, and or you've just come out of the situation. And I love this third one because if you've just come out of a situation or you're not in the situation yet, there's going to be a situation, but you've just come out of it, which means at the end, no matter where in the three places you are or what's going on in your water, you're going to come out of it. And that's the thing. You're going to come out of it. And so if all things work together for good, right? If all things work together for good and the universe has our back, even when we've got the situation that is driving us batty, or there's something that is harming us or that is creating drama and stress or health or whatever, because some issues are deep and tough and painful. And whatever it is that is going on, allow yourself to be in it. Allow yourself to feel it, to lean into it. Because so often when we get into a situation, our first thing is to put the blinders on and we are like, all right, I just got to get through this. Instead of stopping to say, okay, this unbelievably sucks. What is it I'm supposed to be learning? Because it's like an amazing, like, woo, when we can stop and ask that question, what am I supposed to be learning? What are you trying to get me to understand? What are you trying to show me? And we open our mind and we open our heart and we release to to allow that in, the doors just open because the universe is like, yeah, okay, she's got it. Okay, here we are. Okay. And I can't tell you how many people I talk to that once they can let go and say, okay, show me, it's like all the waves calm and everything gets smooth. Now, maybe not instantaneously because we've talked a million times that energy is not like a light switch. So we allow it. Okay? And we allow it. And so wherever you are in your journey and wherever it is that Mercury retrograde is trying to show you, I promise you that the original intention, the initial intention from the universe is not ever to smack you upside the head. The cosmic bitch slap comes when we are not paying attention to all the other stuff. And so I encourage you, especially in this time of retrograde, to allow whatever is coming to the surface for you, whatever feelings you're feeling, whatever situation is anxiety or frustration or anger or fear or joy and laughter and love. Because even in this time of pandemic and confusion and political uncertainty in many countries, there are blessings and there are gifts if we are willing to open the doors, take the blinders off, and open our hearts to receive that. We can see a blessing in everything. It may not be today, it may take a little bit of time. Some blessings take more time. When we fought, I fought Bank of America for this house. You can read the story on my blog, but I fought Bank of America for this house for 3.5 years. And I fought them. When I say I fought them, I mean I fought them. These bastards called my house every day except Sunday from 8:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night, like every 30 to 45 minutes every day except Sunday. So we fought them. We fought them for years. And at the end, and I thought, I'm never going to survive this. And finally, at the end, when we got to the end, it was the blessings that came. And so many blessings have come from that. But it took 3.5 years of just torture. And from that, it took um, about another year and a half before the blessings started to come. But when they did, it was like the floodgates opened. And I cannot even tell you, if somebody had said to me, you're going to go through this, it's going to be one of the worst harrowing experiences of your life. It is going to completely wreck you emotionally and make you ill to the point of hospitalization. But if you survive it, you are going to have blessings untold. Who would believe that? Like, why would you believe that? Except that is really the truth of what happened. And so whatever it is, if it's abandonment, and I hear you, my friend, I hear you. So, whatever it is, what I want to encourage you to do is to sit in it, allow yourself to feel it. Now, if you are in a fragile place and you feel like if you allow yourself to really feel the truth of the emotions that you are just gripping on by the edge and holding on by your little fingernails, please enlist the aid of a friend. Please enlist somebody to stand by and just let them know that you are struggling and that you may or may not need some help. Okay. When we allow ourselves to really dive in and feel the depth of the sadness and the pain and the frustration, the anger, and we allow ourselves to feel into the negative. Because, see, here's the thing, if you won't let yourself feel the real depth and the authenticity of the negative emotions, how are you supposed to learn to feel the amazing depths and authenticity of the positive emotions? We must be able to feel both. If you suppress your ability to feel anger and sadness and frustration and all those things, and you push all that down, you're also pushing down your ability to experience joy and gladness and gratitude and love, which is the engine of the universe. Right? So allow yourself to sit in it. I can't tell you how much I encourage journaling. I have probably 7 different journals I use for all different things. They each have their little compartment. Have a journal. Have a journal. One of the things that I find to be so incredibly helpful, especially when you're dealing with something like abandonment, is having a journal where you can write things to the person that you would want to say. They don't need to see it. It's not for them. Okay. I'm not sending anything. I'm not even burning it. Okay. But the ability to write it is a huge release from the body. The ability to write it, even if you dictate it onto, so many things have, voice text or whatever, to get it out of the body, to expel it, not just from the physical body, but from our emotional body, from our energetic body, to expel it out onto the page. You burn it if you want, but remember, this is for you. This isn't for them. This isn't that I'm going to give it to them and I'm going to show them how they hurt. This is not about them. This is about us. And so I use the journal so that I can write things to the people that I would want to say things to, or the person I would want to say something to, the person that maybe hurt me or abandoned me, or maybe the person that I just love but I can't say, or maybe the person that I'm angry with and I can't say. Sometimes expressing those emotions to that person serves no purpose. Okay. However, holding on to it ourselves serves a negative purpose and can be damaging to us. So we can't hold on to it. Let's release it. But we also don't need to put it onto the other person who may or may not care. And they may not have any ability to deal with it or fix it. And so often they may not care. And that will only serve to hurt us more. Or they care, but they can't do anything about it. Perhaps they may have transitioned, so they're not even here, that even if they care so very much, unless you're enlisting, you're connecting with them spiritually and enlisting the services of a medium, they may not even be able to tell you that they care. And even so, their likelihood, they can't change what had happened in the past. Okay. So all of this of writing it is for us. Okay. And so if you feel like you are on the edge and gripping on with your fingernails of sadness and emotional trauma and really, holding on to the edge of sanity, enlist the help of a friend and be safe. Because sometimes when we go down that rabbit hole, it can be a deep, dark, scary place. Having been there. However, when we can get to the bottom and we know that there's light up there because we get down deep into that darkness, it can be very difficult to see the light and it can be very difficult to make rational decisions because we really can't. If you've ever been in the tunnel, you know that the light at the end can look like it's this big, but it's really, the size of a Mack truck can go through there, right? But we see it as this big. And so when you're in the darkness and you're down deep in the hole, like a well, the light is very small, just like at the end of a long tunnel. It's very small, that forced perspective, and we can't see it. And so we need a friend. And so it is okay to say to a friend, hey, I need to do some emotional healing. I need to do some journaling and some deep emotional work. And I'm going to be sitting in my space today at this time. Could you give me a call at like maybe an hour or 2 hours after that and just check in on me because I really want to make sure that I'm that I'm okay. And I'm grateful that I had that. And it was life saving. Now, I didn't need anybody to do the work for me, but I needed somebody to say, I'm here if you need me. I hear you. I know you're going through stuff. I'm just here to hold space. Okay. Because we don't necessarily, and again, it really depends on your own situation, but when we're going through that dark night of the soul, we don't necessarily need someone else to fix us. Okay. Nobody can fix us. Now, we may need professional assistance, and that is a call you make for yourself. I am not a doctor, but we fix ourselves. We must, because when you fix yourself, the empowerment that comes from that is tremendous. However, we can't, we don't need to do it alone. We don't need someone else to fix us, but having someone else who will hold space for us while we fix ourselves, allowing and helping create a safe space for us to do the work so that we are not doing it alone. Now that's very powerful. And that is life changing. When you know the life raft is there and you can grab onto it at any moment, or even if you are gripping onto the life raft while you are one arm, down the hole and you're doing your work, but you're still gripping onto the life raft, that is okay. Put something in place that creates that safety net, that life raft for you. And if it's me, I am so happy to be that person. I send me a message that says, "Hey, can you message me in an hour?" And I will do it. Unless I'm in the river with the manatees where I have no cell service and I can't change that, I am happy to be that. So allow yourself to feel whatever negative, challenging, I want to say, or challenging, okay? Because not everything is negative. But if you're feeling some kind of way and you're feeling frustration, anxiety, or anything that you would deem as a negative emotion, or you're dealing with heavy stuff right now, allow yourself the opportunity to create a safe space where you can go through the process for yourself. And journaling makes a tremendous difference, whether you draw or you yell and scream, hit a pillow, rip things to shreds, rip things you don't like, you don't need. Recycled paper makes a huge difference. You don't rip up, your signed copy of Michelle Obama's book or something like that. Just whatever you need to do. I have a friend who has a sledgehammer and a cinder block, and that's his therapy. Is he just whacks the crap out of that thing, and he just feels better. Whatever release you need, getting that out of the energy body, out of the emotional body, out of the physical body makes a tremendous difference. And then what you do with that is completely up to you. For me, I found that writing was so cathartic because I could write through every single emotion. I could write you effing son of a bleepity bleepity blankety blankety blank. And nobody was going to read it except me. It wasn't for anybody else's eyes. And I could write whatever I wanted. You hurt me, you this, you that, you da 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 da. And I just vomited out on the page. But what happens is you get to a point where you no longer have that anger or that hate or that rage because you've given yourself an outlet to plug it into something else and an outlet to release it. And as you go forward, you can shift because when you run out of anger, it's like taking off the dark sunglasses. You run out of anger. Now you can see the blessings. And now you can say, well, yeah, that son of a so and so hurt me and did this and did that. Yeah, but what'd you get out of it? Where were the blessings? What did you learn? I always would say that every relationship that we're in takes us closer to the relationship we're supposed to be in. Every relationship has the opportunity for us to learn something. Every relationship. Okay? And allowing ourselves to dive in and to really feel all the feels in a safe way where we know that we have that life raft. Okay, that's super important because I want to make sure that you take good care of yourself. Self-care is so important. Honoring what you need is so important. And allowing yourself to process through whatever it is that you're feeling. Because when you get to the other side, you can hear them so much more clearly. And so if you say to me, I feel lost and I need direction, when you clear all that static out, you can hear them so much more clearly. My relationship with them has grown and grown and grown and grown through the years because they guide me so truly, because I know I can trust them. Because even in the darkest of the dark night of the soul, I knew they were with me. I knew they were with me because they sent the life raft. They sent. And so the reason I tell you to go get a life raft and to ask a person to hold that space for you is because I didn't know enough to ask for that in myself. I didn't know enough to ask for that. But I asked them, help me, please help me. And they sent the life raft. And that is so important. And so we must put ourselves as the priority, especially if you are the one who's giving all the time. We must allow for us to have our buckets filled. Okay? And so when we can release all this stuff, we open the door for blessings to flow. We open the door for a better relationship with spirit, a better communication with our higher selves. And when we can stop and release all the anger and the rage, we open the opportunity for us to say, okay, that situation sucked and I hated every second of it. But what did I learn? Where are the blessings? Because like I said, so often we just put our blinders on. We just got to get through it. And then we get through it and we never take the time to look back. We miss the opportunity to learn all the lessons that the universe was trying to teach us, which is why they put us through that hell in the first place. So take the time to ask, what am I supposed to be learning from this situation? What am I supposed to be learning from this trial, this challenge, this illness, this whatever it is? What am I supposed to be learning? Or and if it's already passed and you have moved past and you have survived and you're kind of back on even footing, what did I learn? Where were the blessings in all of that crap? Where are the blessings? Because when you learn that and when you allow that and you start to think about it in a different way, instead of looking at that asshole who hurt me, we're looking at, yeah, that was an asshole who hurt me, but boy, the universe saved me from so much worse if I'd have stayed with him, or if I'd have stayed in that job, or if I'd have stayed in that house. So much worse. I can totally see where this, and this would have happened if I'd have stayed. And so for thank you. I know that was rough that you pulled me out of there, and that's I was resistant and I suffered, but boy, I can look back on it now and see where the blessings are. So we don't allow ourselves to feel the negative feelings. We have no appreciation for being able to feel the positives, which means we miss out on joy and excitement and euphoria and gratitude. We miss out on these things that are the life changers because gratitude and love are the engine of the universe. And so we lose our opportunity or our ability to feel gratitude because we have been desensitized, because we're still all covered up in the dark, the scarves of darkness. Take those off. Take those off. Hi, Klein. You need to learn from all this custody crap. You are so strong, and you have created portals to help other women to learn from your experiences. How many other people are going to be helped because you stood strong for your child and stood up to your husband and learned what a badass you truly are to create an open space to be able to help other women? No other person was going to do that. No other person was going to stand in the gap, not just for your child, but to stand in the gap for other women who are too afraid to stand up to their husbands. You learned that you are a badass, and you learned that you have something to give and something to share that is important and valuable that is going to help other women. So I hope that you can ingest that, because to me, I stand in awe of what you have created and what you do, and for the how you can stand up and how you have stood up to your ex-husband. So for those of you who say, oh, I'm not really great at self-care, let me say that self-care does not have to be going to an ashram for a month, or investing in yoga retreats, or self-care can be as simple as 30 quiet minutes a day for you to do whatever the hell you want. 30 uninterrupted minutes for you to meditate, read a trashy novel, stretch, go for a walk. 30 minutes. Self-care does not have to be complicated. Self-care does not have to be immersive, or no, I take it back. It needs to be immersive, but it does not have to be, it doesn't have to take over your whole day. Okay. So we all have responsibilities. We all have things we need to do. But if you are not a person who takes good care of yourself, please drink more water, read some Brene Brown, or some other motivational speaker books, or take a walk. Find something for 30 minutes every day that can be just for you. Just for you, whatever you want to do, even just start there. Okay, self-care does not have to be completely like, take over your life. It doesn't mean you have to go on a retreat or, whatever. But just allow and remember that you are worthy and valuable, that you have the opportunity to take care of yourself, and you have an obligation to take care of yourself. Because if you are the person that gives and gives and gives to everybody else and you don't take care of yourself, then at some point you're going to run out of energy to give. And then self-care will become an imperative in a hospital or in the dark night of the soul or whatever it is. So please know that you are so valuable and so worthy. And if you are the giver of your family unit or your relationship or what have you, know that in order to keep giving at the level that you want to give, it is so important for you to make sure that you are receiving and that you are giving to yourself as well. Alyssa Weisenbaum, thank you so Weisenburn, thank you so much for being here. I do see your comment. I'm going to get with you. So I do see you. I'm not ignoring you. So okay, so I think that was everything I was supposed to share with you today. Um, ask for help. Be the life raft for somebody else. Create your own life raft. Allow yourself to dive down into the depths if that's what you need. If you've done it, there's nothing that says we only do that once because, life goes like this, right? So allow yourself to dive down in, allow yourself to feel the negative, feel the positive. Because if we won't allow ourselves to feel the negative, we cheat ourselves of the opportunity to feel the positives. Okay? And I promise you that for everything that is going on in whatever part of the world that you're in, there is something wonderful that is coming for when we can receive, when we can welcome the blessings. If we refuse to see, and we stay in the lack, and we stay in the clothes, and we stay in the poverty mindset, I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about the poverty mindset of lack, then that's what we will receive. But when we can ask the universe, what are you trying to show me? How are you trying to bless me? Allow those things flow. Those things flow. Okay? All right. But be safe because I don't want to lose anybody down the dark night of the soul. I know that that can be a treacherous place. So please make sure that you are just checking in with somebody who can be that life raft to you to say, hey, I'm going to go and really do some deep soul and emotional work, and I'm going to journal, and can you just, ping me in an hour? Okay. All right. And just because people would be so glad to say, I hear you, I see you, I'm here for you, I'm here for you. So, and you just need one person. You just need one person who can hold that space for you. Okay. We're gonna do some cards. I'm gonna answer Alyssa's question. Alyssa, I want to point you to, I'm not sure where you came in on the conversation, but one thing I want to point you back to, where I was talking about, that was the right move, even though it wasn't what I wanted, that was the right move. And so right now, you not being in the same space with your partner is the right place for you to be. Um, and I want to encourage you to allow yourself to let go of what was past and allow yourself to open up into what is possible for your future. Because I can't say if you will ever, because no psychic can say, absolute guarantee, never ever, or absolutely 100% for sure. And any psychic that does, you might want to, just take it with a grain of salt, because humans have free will. And so what, as an absolute guarantee, I just don't believe in those because I can say what I see and what I feel and what I think, and what I hear and what I hear, but humans have free will. And so you may choose to move back in with him, but I feel like that's not the right move. I feel like there's some maturing that needs to happen. I feel like there's definitely some communication issues that are there. I feel like you're not being honest with each other. I feel like there's bending to be what the other wants to be, and that's not a healthy place. It's not a sustainable place. And so the fact that you're not together right now gives you space, and you can choose to dwell on getting back to living together, or you can choose to dwell on moving forward to be in your best space. And then in that point, when you are vibrating higher because you're being your true and authentic self, he will either come back to your space, but more what I think is going to happen is someone who's more worthy of you is going to step in. So I hope that that is helpful for you. Feel free to message me if you have other questions about that. Okay, so hi, Shari, thanks for being here. All right, we're going to move into cards and we're going to come back because I'll so much guidance, so much guidance. Okay, so we're going to move into our cards so that we stay on time. because you know how that never happens. All right, so let's find out which chakra we need to be paying attention to this week in Mercury retrograde. And one of the things I will give as guidance for everyone is, you know what, y'all, patience, 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 patience. And I know I freaking hate that. I mean, don't you just, I just freaking hate that when people say be patient. That's almost right up there when your partner says relax, right? Because no, that is the wrong answer. However, patience is hugely important right now, not just through this pandemic, but through this last few weeks before the election in the United States, and also in just moving forward with the universe. Because when we are patient and we can allow our little gears to get lined up, because it takes a while, you know, it takes some time to get this. The universe has got to like move. I'm doing this backwards. The universe has got to move this thing over here so that it can line up with this thing, and it's got to get this thing lined up. Is that working? Is that going? Okay, that's going. That's good. This is not in place. It takes time to move these gears and to put all this stuff into place. Okay, so patience. The universe does not move on a dime. It can, but it generally does not move on a dime. The universe is going to, right? That's the worst words. But the universe is going to shift things into space, into the right space for us when we can allow it. But that means we have to get through all your shit first, okay? So here we are in our the energy that we are. Okay, so the reason that I talked for a while with channeled information before we start pulling cards out is because the cards always like support whatever we've just talked about. So we have just seeing beyond. So this is our energy we're talking about is the crown chakra and the third eye. Okay, so this is seeing beyond. And so this is where we're focusing our energy on this part of Mercury retrograde is seeing beyond because this is so much about the third eye and allowing ourselves to see what is beyond our pain, our anger, our frustration, our anxiety, and putting all that to the side because we've worked through all of that to allow all the things to come in. So we are seeing beyond. And the only way that we can see the beyond and to see into the love and the blessings and that universal expansion is when we let go of the anger and the frustration that we have been holding on to. So let's see which of our goddesses. So that card was actually from Colette Baron Reed's newest deck of the energy, the seven energies. I really like that deck a lot. I think it's beautiful. I think the booklet, the words that she's provided are just really beautiful. I think the cards are gorgeous. She has an amazing artist that she works with because this deck that we're going to pick right now is, okay, we have some jumper cards. And I always respect the cards that jump out of the deck, even though I didn't shuffle 3 times. So we've got Mama Kocha and Shakti. So these are from the Goddess Power Oracle deck, also Colette Baron Reed. So I'm going to read these because there's so much information, and I profess that I don't know a ton about the goddess energy, but I did remember my glasses today. So we have 33 and 45. So let's see. The goddess energy is just absolutely fantastic. And I always like to ask each week which goddess is guiding us this week. And so here we have Mama Kocha. So this is, she's an Incan goddess. And that it says we are most attuned to the qualities of water. And I think this is so interesting because we literally were just talking about water, that all the water energy. And so we are most attuned to the qualities of water as the element symbolically represents our emotions. Our emotions move us to make and how we make and perceive the world as we know it. So the beauty in this truth is found by observing water in all her properties and forms. Water is fluid and it passes through the cracks and the flaws in the ground without stress. So the answer to your question lies in determining what form of water reveals the conditions of your life and then recognizing the next evolution of your life's potential. I love that because it's literally what we were just talking about. So I think that's amazing, which is why I always try to channel their wisdom and then I pull in the cards afterwards because I find that it is so affirming. The cards, you know, have no, like, I'm shuffling them and they just pop out of whatever it is. Because I honestly don't know what I'm going to say to you before I come on here to say stuff because they just give it to me as it comes. So then we have nope, that's not the right one. Wrong page. Shakti. Shakti, number 5, is about transformation. She is the goddess of transformation. Can we see that? Okay. So she's the goddess of transformation. Wonderful changes afoot in your life when the Hindu goddess of Shakti comes to support you. All your longing, desire, and focus on something better in your life, coupled with your willingness to do the work. You're coupled with your willingness to do the work, lost my place. It has ignited the life force energy of the great goddess. She responds now to bring you your heart's desire. Know that now is the perfect time to move into the highest version of yourself. Oh, I love that, because you are so welcome, Melissa. You are so welcome, my friend. That I love that, because that literally is what we were just talking about. So you cannot make this stuff up. The cards do not lie. And so I know I'm just absolutely love um, following their guidance, following their wisdom, and just allowing them to move in my life. The cards get to move into our lives, because they know more than we do. I don't always know how the cards know, but I know spirit knows. And if spirit is using the cards as a tool, I'm gonna let them, because the cards just don't lie. And whatever channel of information that they give me, and then we pull up the cards, it's always right. It's always right. And the cards are amazing. So this is Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle card. It is the other deck that I absolutely adore working with. It is also very, very beautiful. And so here we have the first card is Inner Temple. Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Okay? I just don't think I need any explanation for that, because we think we can pretty much gather onto that. Now, when we start working with the oracle cards, we pull out the energy so we can see where we need to focus, and which goddess is going to be guiding us this week. And then I will look into 2 or 3 of these cards to help us understand where do we need to go and what do we need to be doing this week. And this is following the intuition of our heart, feeling into our truest selves, feeling into our heart energy, feeling the emotions, dealing with them, processing through, letting go of things that we no longer need to be holding on to, things that don't serve us anymore, so that we can reach into the depths of our heart and feel the highest and best and feel our truest self, so that we are not living under all those dark scarves. Pull all those scarves off. One at a time, we pull those off. And so the next card is awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. And we've seen this card before, okay, because we know that everything that's going on in the world right now is so much about the integration of who we are and who we are becoming. But we don't become until we fight our way out of the cocoon. And fighting our way out of the cocoon comes from doing all the work of the heart and the emotions. Everything we just talked about is how we fight our way out of the cocoon. And we really do that energy work and that emotional work, we align ourselves for the awakening as we come out of the cocoon, we come into that transformation. And it is really an amazing, amazing thing. And so the last card we pull is the Great Gathering. And this is so beautiful. I love this card because it reminds us, it says, it's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. And this card I absolutely love because it reminds us we are not alone. We are not alone. Okay? If you are here, you are not alone. If you had the sense and the energy pull that guided you to a page like this, or a page, my page or someone else's page like this, you are not alone. You are looking for your people, the people who are like you. And it was so fascinating to me in this meditation class that I was taking, where one of the gentlemen who is, easy in his late 70s, early 80s, and he was saying, A, I wish I found this earlier in my life, and B, I didn't know this kind of a thing existed. And I love that because he was so indicative of everything we've been talking about, that people are waking up. People are understanding there is a shift in the world. There's a shift in the universe, that we are raising our vibration. We are moving to a place of compassion and love, and away from a place of anger and hate and division. That the way forward for our society and for our country and our planet is not through division and anger or racism or bigotry or bullying. That the way forward for our country and for our planet, for humanity, the way forward is through love and through aligning together, raising our vibration, and putting the greater good, our highest selves, love and compassion, and working from that aspect and not from an aspect of greed or selfishness. We are working from a place of love and giving and gratitude. I was invited to join a Facebook group the other day, and I thought this was magnificent. Who knew this kind of a thing existed? And it was a giving group. It was a Facebook giving group. How magnificent. And it was basically like people had stuff to give away that they could give to Goodwill, or they could give to charity, or they thought, well, here's the thing, I'm not using it. I want to give it to somebody who could use it. And no money, there was no charging. It was a giving group. And I thought, that's magnificent. But that's where we're coming to, because higher evolved societies can move past commerce and can move past capitalism and can move past money into value, into value. Where's the value in the situation? Where's the value in the product or the service? It's not about the money. It's not about amassing the most money. It is about the value and the service that we give each other, and the integrity and love. It's about leading from love. And that's where we raise the vibration in the universe, is where we can tap into that heart-centered energy and really align ourselves with the energy of love and gratitude. But remember, we can't do that until we release all that other stuff. So we are focused this week on the third eye chakra of seeing beyond what is, what is the surface? Okay, what is the surface? The surface is, this is happening and I'm mad, or this is happening and I'm glad. So that's the surface, but dig a little deeper. What is the universe trying to show you? What is the universe trying to help you with? So my video didn't play this morning on my phone. I kept trying to play different videos for this class I'm taking. It wasn't playing. I said, okay, what are you trying to show me? Oh, I'm not supposed to do this right now. I'm supposed to do something else because later on there was a live training. Okay, thanks, universe. I appreciate that. And so many different things when we can see beyond the glitch or the hiccup or the situation or whatever it is that we're in right now, we see beyond. And we have two amazing goddesses that are with us. We have Shakti for transformation and Mama Kocha for water. And so we are being guided by powerful, powerful women of Hindu and Incan lineage this week. Powerful women that know we are in a time of transformation and know that we are healed in the water and that we can find our emotions in the water. Water is the energy of emotion, and allowing us to feel into that and knowing that we are being supported by the water gives us that safe place to dive into our emotions and really feel the things we need to feel and process through that stuff so we can move forward and move past it. Because when we can release the anger and the frustration and all of that stuff, we move back into the energy of love, remembering that if we don't allow ourselves to feel the negative and the heavy and uh, the negative emotions, if we push all that down and we ignore it and we just refuse to deal with it, we are desensitizing ourselves to that, which means we're desensitizing ourselves to the ability to feel the love and the gratitude and the joy as well. So we need to feel the negative in order to appreciate and feel into the positive. Because when you can feel into the positive and you raise your vibration up of so much joy, oh my gosh, I am so blinking grateful to the universe for whatever it is today. Thank you. So much gratitude. I want to thank the universe so much I could just cry. That is powerful emotion. That is the energy, that is the engine of the universe. And so, focusing on our inner temple, doing that work, doing that heart centered work, finding those emotions, allowing ourselves to feel those emotions, using the journal to write it all out, just blah it out on the page. It is for you, it is not for anybody else. Nobody else needs to see it. But it is so cathartic. Allow yourself that experience to have that healing. It's to have that healing. And know that it is totally part of your awakening. It is part of everyone's awakening as society as a whole is waking up. And the people who are refusing to wake up are the ones who are holding on to the status quo, going, no, we want to go backwards and not go forwards. And those are the people who are refusing to wake up. And that's okay, because that's their path. Right? And then we want to remember that you are not alone. Not for a minute. You are not alone. So before we finish, because we've got a couple minutes left, questions. You've got a couple of quick questions. I want to make sure, because we've got time to still be together. So I want to make sure that we have whatever questions that you have that I can answer for you. And I want to say thank you so much for being here. I want to say, please feel free to follow me here. Follow me on my Instagram page. I've got a YouTube channel. On Wednesday nights, we do meditation. So I teach meditation right here on Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern. And then also on this Thursday, we will be having our next edition of the Psychic Medium Squares, which is myself and a whole group of amazing psychics and mediums from all over the country that we come together once a month and we do a live question and answer, mini readings, whatever it is, you got it. So it's an amazing group of people, and I hope you'll choose to join us. That will be in the Facebook group Psychic Medium Squares, but it will also be shared here as well. Okay, so if you have the ability to join us, I would love to have you join us for Psychic Medium Squares and for Wednesday night meditation, and back here next Monday. So we are always here on Monday afternoons. Anything about my daughter or business? Shari, is there some kind of a health challenge that's going on with your daughter? I feel like I almost want to say diabetes, but I feel like there's some kind of a health challenge that may be going along with your daughter. And I feel like she's not, I want to say to you, I feel like she's not listening to guidance. Like um, she's not taking the advice that's being given to her. And I want to encourage you to to remind her that she's being given good advice and that leaning into that will serve her well. But I'm not sure. I feel like there might be some sort of a health challenge that's going on there. And just to allow her support and to lean into the professionals that are trying to work with her. Um, Now, I do want to say also that I'm not 100% sure if that's yeah, I feel like that might be her, but I feel like your energy is really close together, that it may be you as well. But when I feel into the energy, Shuri, for your daughter, that's what I feel called to say that is that I feel like there's a health challenge. I feel like it's maybe either undiagnosed or newly diagnosed, or I feel like it's trying to be ignored or something to that effect to kind of play down in that it's not a serious life threatening thing right now, but I feel like if it's not, that if it continues to be ignored, I feel like it could be. And we never want to see that. So I just want to say to just support her and to encourage her to heed the good advice that she's getting, like the not the opinion of friends, but the opinion of professionals. Does that make sense? So hopefully that helps you. So, oh no, Robin lost me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do when Robin doesn't have me. Robin's got my back. I know Robin's always got my back. So what am I don't know what to do if you lost me. So, all right. Any other questions? I'm glad you're back. I hope you found me, Robin. Don't lose me. Any other questions? All right. So I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for joining. Thank you for staying and watching. Thanks for participating. Thank you for your amazing comments, and thank you for the love and the energy. And thank you for choosing to spend some time with me on a Monday afternoon. I am so grateful for your love, for your support. I can't wait to give away another free reading on the Facebook page when we hit 750. We're like so close. We're like 737. It's so close. So please share me with friends. We had just had a free reading given away on Instagram. When we hit another benchmark, we'll give away another reading over there. And so the next one up is going to be 750 followers in our beautiful community of light on Facebook. And I think 650 is where we are next for the Instagram page. So we're close. So, oh, thank you, Shari, for that confirmation. Thank you so much. And I'm just sending you all so much love and light. And wherever you are in the world or wherever you are on the political spectrum, because I know the election in the United States is on everybody's mind, I want you to know that whatever happens, it's going to be okay. I love you all. I thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for being with us. Please share me with your friends. If you like this video, please subscribe, follow along, be with us, and come back again next week. Have a great week. Mwah. I love you.